Well, we are only one day away from the release of Disney's Snow White remake, and I, for one, am very, very excited about this movie's release. I am really curious to how this movie performs at the box office, and a lot of the stuff that's really put a shadow over this movie is, of course, Rachel Zegler, someone who has the biggest mouth in Hollywood. So we're going to get to see how it does. Now, one of the things Disney's been trying to do is put a leash on her because she's kind of crazy and likes to tie the movies that she's in to her personal politics, which she did again. A new interview from Allure came out yesterday, and she's back to her old tricks. I have to wonder if her and the interviewer decided to ignore Disney, because there's been a rumor, and it seems pretty confirmed, that Disney is putting her on a tight leash and only letting her do controlled interviews. And when you look at what happened at the red carpet premiere in L.A., it kind of makes sense. They only had people that worked for Disney there to interview her. So real quick before we get into that, here's the latest numbers now that we're closer to the actual release date. They're saying 100 million plus, which I think is them just leaving the door open, basically. If tracking and exhibitor reactions are any indication, Disney's live-action Snow White could spark a turnaround with a domestic debut in the $450 million range to $55 million range and north of $100 million globally. But there are no guarantees. And Disney executives are on high alert. Oh, I bet they are. I bet they are on high alert. This movie, man, it's got a high budget, number one. There's no reason that a movie like this should have the budget that this movie has. It's crazy. But it is what it is at this point. That north of 100 million globally is a little suspect. I'm not so sure about that. Now, I do think 100 to 125 million opening is possible. I think that's for sure a possible number. I could actually see it making 125 million, but that's no win, especially when you consider second week drops and the amount of money that this movie needs to make. But we'll see. We'll see. I think 45 million opening domestic is probably about right. Yeah, somewhere between 45 and 55 million. I think that is probably a pretty safe bet, because I just don't know who's asking for this movie. Well, Rachel Zegler did that Allure interview, and I have to wonder what Disney executives think about this one, because, well, this movie's going to save lives, didn't you know? She made sure to attack the people that cast her in West Side Story as well, by the way. White executives wanted to make sure that she was Latina. I mean, I'll give her that one. I had to think, are they stupid? I mean, you can tell she's Latina. What a bunch of idiots. But I guess they grilled her on it, which is kind of dumb. I mean, come on. Steven Spielberg, she gave good credit to, because he pretty much campaigned for her to get the role. The movie didn't do well either way, so it doesn't matter. But here's the biggest thing that came out. She talked about all kinds of stuff in that interview. It was a typical Rachel Zegler interview. But once again, she ties her personal politics into Snow White. And I have to wonder, like, did Disney encourage this, or did she go rogue and decide to do it anyway? So, let's get into it. Rachel Zegler says Disney's Snow White will help fight just in race division in magazine interview that once more ties Disney film into her personal politics. That's right, this movie is going to save lives, ladies and gentlemen. People will walk away with a new purpose in life after seeing this modern masterpiece. It will save lives, make people happy. It might even make you have a new purpose in life. Maybe you'll embrace activism after watching this piece of shit. We're not going to go over all of it. There was some interesting stuff in here talking about Ariana Grande reached out to her after she was labeled a DEI hire, which she is. This is a DEI hire. 100%. According to Zegler, Snow White isn't just a fairy tale. It's a tool to promote acceptance and discourage societal prejudice. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what Snow White has always been about. 100%. This is right before the movie comes out. What are you doing? You got to be the dumbest person in Hollywood. The dumbest person in Hollywood. So this part right here, this is just about what I was telling you about the West Side Story thing. Never missing a chance to bless the white man. So here we go. Zegler connects Snow White to social messaging. This is the big one. Zegler's comments about Snow White make it clear that for the film's purpose extends beyond storytelling. She sees her casting in the movie itself as a key to fighting division and encouraging acceptance. The reality is, I was given a chance because I could sing. Zegler said, ignoring Disney's love of race swapping for the sake of so-called progress, which is true. They do it all the time. So, I mean, your singing is a plus, but sorry, they love doing this stuff. My only prayer for the future of diversity and inclusion is that we invest in and nurture talent, no matter what they look like. She then directly tied the film to broader societal change. That's why it's so important for the next generation to see movies like Snow White. It's very important. It's important. This movie will change your life. She said, to realize there's nothing wrong with choosing to do what's right, and that it doesn't have to be with anger or clenched fist. Anger can be a powerful emotion, but it doesn't bring the brightest future. Ben, you are the angriest person I've ever seen. I've seen you in all kinds of interviews, especially that one for the strike when you're like, I deserve to get paid for every hour I stand in this dress. Snow White chooses kindness. It still makes change. Power takes many forms. I hope we'll see a new dawn of kindness and acceptance in the next couple of years. And people don't see the need to use hate to cause further division. Oh, you love hate. I remember when you jumped on Gina Carano's cancellation. You were salivating at canceling her. You have a history of hate. You are not a nice person. These are the same people that talk about love and then they go burn down a Tesla dealership. Or they talk about acceptance and then they put a bike lock in a sock and beat people over the head with it because they voted for Trump. These people are fake. And I say that in the meaning of that she is a leftist activist. In other words, Zegler is positioning the film as more than entertainment. It's intended to teach children lessons about societal prejudice. Yeah, that's true. That's all this is. So this film will now save lives and change the world. What are you doing? Oh, man, this reminds me of The Eternals. Remember the Eternals movie? Like, the actors are out there saying it was going to save people, it's going to save the world, save people's lives, all kinds of nonsense. How'd that movie do? So we'll see. I'm very excited for this movie's release. It could do well. Maybe it'll defy the odds and be a massive hit. Make Mufasa money. Maybe it'll do it. We'll see. We'll see. But somehow I don't think so. But I could be wrong. If it does well, then there's just a lot of stupid people out there. I guess. Because I don't know who's asking. I hate these all the shit aside, I hate these live action remakes. They never top the original. Name me one remake that's better than the original. And I'm going to put that Lilo and Stitch in there too. There's nothing wrong with that movie politically. Everything about it seems fine. It seems like a safe movie. And I would even say, just based on what we've seen for it, it'll probably be safe to take your kids to. However, in my opinion, you're better off watching the original. It's a better movie. And I can say that without seeing it. It more than likely is better than the live-action remake. I just don't see why we can't just have animated movies. Why are they so taboo? I don't get it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think this movie is going to do globally. What do you think the numbers for the box office are with this movie? So please comment, like, subscribe, share the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.